I'm Dr. Ramesh. I'm consultant interventional cardiologist at Yashoda Hospital, Secunderabad. Today we'll discuss about heart diseases, in particular reference to the present pandemic, but even otherwise also what is happening to the incidence of heart disease, what are the risk factors for heart disease, are there any new treatments of treating the heart conditions. Any heart attack happens if the blood supply to the heart muscle is stopped suddenly. And this generally occurs because one of the vessels which supply to the heart is blocked. Most of the time the blockage is 100%. So whenever there is a blockage to the blood supply to the heart muscle gets damaged, that's called as heart attack. If the heart attack is not treated on time, or if the vessel is not opened either mechanically or otherwise also, the treatment for heart attack generally would be giving an injection or opening the vessel after doing an angiogram. This does not happen on time, then patients can develop cardiac arrest. Cardiac arrest is a sequelae of untreated heart attacks. So first heart attack can happen, and if you treat on time, it can be stopped at that. Suppose you're not treating on time, then patient can go into a cardiac arrest. Generally, most of the time, heart attacks will present with a central chest discomfort. So there is a general impression that many times heart attacks present with pain in the left hand or pain in the left side of the heart. Generally, let us remember the classic heart attack would be a pain in the center of the chest. Many times patient comes with a symptom with a very significant heaviness in the center of the chest. The heaviness can sometimes radiate to the jaws, can sometimes radiate to the hand. So it does not mean that any patient who has got a hand pain has got heart attack. Rather, heart attack patients will have a central pain which can go back to the hand, which can go back to the jaw, which can go back to the upper abdomen. So it can vary like that, but generally the pain is more in the center of the chest. Having said this is only one symptom. Patient can have a sudden onset of shortness of breath, they can have sudden onset of giddiness. So, but these are all there if the patient is generally a non-diabetic. In a diabetic patient as such, many of these patients won't have any symptoms. So particularly the data tells us that 70 to 80% of diabetics won't have any symptoms of heart attack. So patients present suddenly to the ER or the emergency room with general discomfort or a vague discomfort which can be related to a gastritis or which can be related to any other symptom, and we notice that patient has got heart attack. So remember, if you are a diabetic, you should be very careful. You may not have any symptom of heart attack. Even if you are not a diabetic, 30 to 40% of patients who are in general population won't have any symptoms. This leads to confusion many times. Please keep it in mind. If you are in a risk factor for heart attack, be careful whenever you are having even vague symptoms. There are no separate rules for treating heart attack in COVID-19 and otherwise also. But general rule is if you are having any discomfort or you are not feeling comfortable, if you are in that risk group, particularly if you are aged above 40 years and if you have got other risk factors of diabetes or hypertension, or if you are a smoker, I would suggest immediately you rush to a nearby hospital, get a ECG done. The adage or the rule is the earlier the better it is. So the first thing, if you are not feeling comfortable, don't sit at home, rush to a hospital, go for a ECG early. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you are sitting up or standing up, try to lie down immediately. And if you have got some medication such as aspirin or Clopidogrel at home, one of your parents or someone else is using it, you can immediately take that medications and then rush to a hospital. There are many risk factors for heart disease. You can divide them basically into what we can modify, what we cannot modify. The non-modifiable ones would be your age, your sex, and your family history. This you cannot change. There are things which you can change. If you are a diabetic, you should keep your diabetes under control. If you are a hypertensive, you should keep your hypertension under control. If you are a smoker, you should quit smoking completely. If there is a young patient who develops heart attack, the most common reason would be a smoking. So if there is one advice which I would insist and which I want to give you, if you are smokers, please stop smoking. Even passive smoking is bad. By passive smoking, I mean if someone is smoking next to you or if your friend is a smoker, you should not stand next to you. So the risk factors which are modifiable are control of diabetes, hypertension, smoking, obesity and cholesterol levels. So you have to lose weight if you are very obese. In addition to that, you can have lots of fruits and vegetables, you can do a lot of walking and stop sedentary lifestyle. In addition to all these things, stress and pollution are also possible newer risk factors. This is a very important thing. Nowadays, even during last 1 month of COVID period, I have seen nearly 5 to 6 patients who have come with heart attack less than 40 years of age group. So this is not a trend during COVID, this is a general trend for the last 4 or 5 years. There are multiple reasons for it. The most common reason is smoking. Second thing is sedentary lifestyle. Most of them are not moving around. So sedentary lifestyle is a very common reason. Third is increased stress. Fourth is eating junk food. These are the 4 most common reasons. Most common being smoking, eating a lot of junk food without walking or doing good exercises. Fourth is a lot of stress. So you have to be very careful, even if you are young, even if you are 20 or 25-year-old, if you are having some chest discomfort, particularly central chest discomfort, don't hesitate, rush to your hospital, at least get an ECG and echo test done. Chest pain during heart attack is present in a normal person who is non-diabetic around 60 to 70% of patients. 30 to 40% of patients can present without chest pain. They can just present with a shortness of breath or breathlessness. They can present with giddiness. They can present with palpitations or any other vague symptom as such. Particularly if you are diabetic, 80 to 90% of the time you won't have any symptoms. So remember, chest pain is not the sine qua non, or the chest pain is not the symptom of heart attack. You can have a heart attack without chest discomfort also. Whenever you come to a hospital with chest discomfort, the beginning test would be a ECG, echo, if required a blood test called as troponin. This troponin test would be positive if you are having a heart attack. Suppose troponin test is positive, definitely it means either you are having a minor or major heart attack based on the levels of troponin. These are very basic tests, ECG, echo and troponin. Suppose you are not having any heart attack, you are come general examination or for a general checkup, then we probably do an additional treadmill test also. In addition to all these things, there are two other important tests. One is a CT angiogram, or this is basically an angiogram of the heart vessels using a computerized tomography or a CT scan. Here you do it in a non-invasive way. This is OPD based test which will be done in 5 to 10 minutes time. So most of the patients, if you are having risk factors like diabetes, hypertension, you are above 50 and you are having some vague symptoms, you can consult your doctor. Based on his advice, you can go for a CT coronary angiogram. Suppose you are having very classical symptoms, you are walking and you are having breathlessness, you are walking, you are having chest discomfort, and if you are having classical symptoms of heart disease, then possibly you will need an invasive test called as coronary angiogram. So the treatment after a patient develops a heart disease and heart attacks are a little different. Once you are diagnosed with heart disease, you will be started on a blood thinners, couple of blood thinners, you will be started on a statins or drugs which reduce your cholesterol. In addition to this, if you are having an acute ongoing heart attack, the treatment would be two ways. If the heart attack is ongoing and if you are having ongoing chest pain, then you can, and if you are coming within a what is called as window period, means the time of onset of heart attack or time of onset of chest pain and the time you reach the hospital, if it is generally less than 6 hours, we give a clot buster injections. These can be given to most of the patients who are less than 80 years. So this is the first treatment. The other treatment is take the patient for emergency angiogram and try to open the vessel which has produced the heart attack. Most of the time they will have a 90% block or 100% block. Having said this, the best treatment among these two would be an emergency angioplasty. The data all over the world over the last 30 years is very clear. There is nothing which is better than an emergency angioplasty for a patient with heart attack. If there is no other option, if you are not in a center where they can do this emergency angioplasty, then the next best treatment would be to give this injection and lyse the clot. So this is again an important thing. In a COVID-19 suspect patient, what we generally do is first we have to diagnose COVID-19. Suppose the patient's CT scan is not very suggestive of COVID-19, possibly, and the patient is hemodynamically unstable, then possibly you need to go for an emergency angioplasty with all the adequate precautions. But if the patient is hemodynamically stable and if you are still suspecting COVID-19, CT scan is showing some shadows which are suggestive of COVID-19, best thing would be, and if the patient has come within the 6-hour window period, best thing would be to give a thrombus injection or clot lysing injection. This lysing injection will reduce the clot in around 40 to 50% of patient, not more than that. So once you give this injection, it will give you time for investigating further. The patient can be again shifted to isolation ward, do the COVID-19 testing, and based on the test and patient's hemodynamic condition, then we can go for an angiogram and angioplasty if required later. The most common cause of heart attack obviously is blockade. This is generally there for most of the patients who are above 30 or 40 years. But in younger patients sometimes, because of spasm of the or narrowing of the vessels which are occurring because of spasm, this can produce heart attack. There are multiple other factors which are infections can produce a mimic of heart attack. Though there is no evidence of heart attack as such, particularly COVID-19 patients can have something called as myocarditis, where the heart muscle is inflamed. They can present with ECG which is suggestive of heart attack, but the angiogram will be normal. So here the patient will more go into a heart failure rather than a heart attack. So there are other mimics of heart attacks, but the most common is a blockade of the heart vessel which produces heart attack, which is treated with opening the vessel. The other causes have to be managed medically. India is already considered the diabetes capital of the world. Now India is also considered the heart disease capital of the world. Diabetes is probably the most common cause of heart disease all over the world. And the problem with diabetes is twofold. One, it produces heart disease early. Second, it produces worse heart disease or worse form of heart disease in the form of triple vessel blockages, in the form of significant LV dysfunction or heart functioning leakage. So this because of multiple reasons, and most of the patients present without any symptoms. As I mentioned already, 80% of diabetic patients won't have any symptoms. So in that way, diabetes increases the risk of heart disease by 2 to 3 fold. It produces the heart attacks or heart disease in the earlier age group, and it produces the worst form of heart attacks, most of the time needing bypass surgeries or even worse. There is a discussion about whether the heart attacks or heart disease varies in men or women. Generally, when all these diseases or discussions started around 30-40 years back, men used to have higher heart disease incidence compared with women. But present data for the last 10 to 15 years very clearly tell us that women and men do not differ in heart disease. Rather, women can have very atypical symptoms. They might have a heart attack with very atypical symptoms. So rather, women should be more careful because they might have completely asymptomatic nature. They might have vague symptoms and they will come with a heart attack. That is the first point. Second point, death rate also possibly is more in women compared to men, though there is no solid data about it. So in women and men, there is no difference in heart attack incidence compared to previous this thing. Yeah, so many of you might be having heart disease already. My advice would be continue to take your medicines definitely. Suppose you have got some doubt, you can visit hospital. But having said that, you are not comfortable, there is lockdown. We are doing a good telemedicine consultation here, so you can come for a telemedicine consultation. If you are having any doubts regarding your symptoms, because this is a video consultation basically, so you can go for a telemedicine checkup where we would see you and then advise you regarding your change of medicines or any tests are needed. That is first point. Suppose you are not comfortable, suppose you are having definite symptoms, I would suggest that you reach the hospital. There is a general impression which I noticed that people are feeling that the hospitals are not safe, but at least I can assure you from Yashoda Hospital, Secunderabad at least, definitely. What I would tell you is we are taking adequate precautions for seeing all the patients. There is a clear-cut triage when you are entering. So if there is a suspect of COVID-19, we are taking them to isolation room and doing a proper checkup for them. Otherwise, for all the other patients, you can come to a cardiologist and go for a regular checkup here. Having said this, we are taking adequate precautions during your examinations, not just for you, for your attenders also, for the health staff here also. So we will do a general examination, then followed by some necessary tests, and if required, invasive test also can be done in this. So there are one or two other differences which I want to tell you, which I have noticed over the last couple of months. People with heart attacks are presenting little late to the hospital, probably thinking that the hospital is not very safe, but this is completely untrue. In heart attack, time is muscle. If you are delaying coming to hospital, there is a significant damage to the heart muscle, and you are likely to have a bad prognosis. So I would suggest, if you are having any symptoms, if you are not comfortable to do a telemedicine consult, and if you are really having significant symptoms, I would urge you to come to the hospital. They are very safe. There are adequate precautions taken not just for the doctors, for the all the healthcare professionals here, the paramedical staff. During the procedures in cath lab, we are taking adequate precautions. The nurses, the technicians are being adequately protected. You and your attendants also would be adequately protected. So we are taking care of all these things with good PPEs also.